Get one shot of Henny, nigga. One shot.
I'm not even nowhere near close to lit, so don't give me that. I'm about getting lit, though.
You're BLitZ.
I want to be BLitZ.
Llegaron los patrones, tú quieres que te prenda. Vaya y venga, y no se detenga. Vaya y venga, y no se detenga.
Hey guys, welcome to sBLitz. Your boy Rob.
Your boy Zay.
We're about to kick off with the latest trending topics today, going around the NBA, the MLB, and the NFL. Jose, first thing we're going to talk about today is the NFL. First things first, Jameis Winston suspended for 3 days for violating an NFL policy he had for apparently touching an Uber driver inappropriately. What's up with that?
Typical Winston. I mean, the guy has a history already, to be quite honest, going back to college, of doing the wrong thing and not really thinking properly, or thinking, you know, like, I'm a role model, I shouldn't really be doing this. You had that accident in college where he was accused of rape. He ended up settling with the family of the victim. He then went, and they were having like a school rap rally, I believe, in the middle of the lunch cafeteria, and he got on top of the table, you know, and screamed, "Fuck it right in the pussy!" Stole the crab legs. In the NFL now, he's in the league, you know, you're made it, you're in the league, you're a starting quarterback, and you go have one too many and start touching an Uber driver. Bro, she's just there to give you a ride. Like, come on, bro. Like, at this point, I'm sorry to be this guy to say this, but you got so much fucking money and you want to do something inappropriate with a girl, call a freaking escort, bro. That's what they're there for, man. You don't even got to tell nobody. They're going to stay shut. You're going to pay them. You're going to have your fun, and it's that simple.
Then again, maybe she will. Yeah.
Escorts is supposed to be a low-key operation, by the way.
Low-key operation, but it's not.
It's pretty high-key. All the guys who know it's high-key, but everyone who knows about it, they keep it low-key. They'll blast up like, yo, what about escorts? I'm going to keep that shit down. We got to keep it on the right, you know? I feel like he made a dumb decision again as a pro athlete. I mean, nowadays, I'm just looking at all these athletes, and sometimes I just feel like the way the league has changed and the way things have changed in all professional sports, you get into all these leagues, MLB, the NBA, the NFL, at such a young age. All of a sudden, they're going from playing at a high school, playing at a college. They've never been here before. And then all of a sudden, playing at a high level, getting paid so much attention, a ton of things going on. So I definitely think Jameis Winston shot the bed on this one. You know, he definitely shouldn't have been doing what he did. It's silly. He's had crab legs issues before. He's had plenty of issues. Like you said, he settled with a rape victim. I just think either he gets his head on straight or he's going to be the Johnny Manziel of this team.
Here's the thing. I mean, I feel like it's a little unfair to Johnny Manziel just for the fact that Johnny Manziel never got accused of anything sexually. He was a party goer, you know, didn't take his job seriously. Maybe dabble in some drugs and recreational drugs and stuff like that. But he never went out there and assaulted a woman. And, you know, so I feel like it's unfair to even bring up Johnny Manziel in this case. And I can see why he gets mad about people doing that to him. Like, he always like, oh, why people always bringing me up for no reason, you know? Like, I see that, you know, like.
So you in Canada, Johnny?
You know, I got you, Johnny. I got your back, bro. Money team. Back to Winston. The guy, I just feel like at some point you need to surround yourself with the proper people, or maybe the team itself. You could do what the Cowboys did with Des Bryant. They had the Des Bryant rule where they had a security guard follow him all times and, you know, make sure he ain't getting in trouble, stay out of trouble.
Right.
You know,
take care of you guys.
The few situations, yeah. So I feel like at this point, Winston probably needs somebody like that, especially since apparently he can't keep his shit together while he's out there trying to have a good time. There's nothing wrong with having a good time and enjoying yourself, but once you try to have a good time at the expense of others, it's not right. You got to learn. And I don't think he is. So if I'm the team, I will put somebody in there to make sure he does no wrong.
It's a silly rule.
It's sad because he's a grown man and he should, you know.
Right. He doesn't need someone following him around telling him what he can or can't do. And we've all been there. We've all had one too many. But I think if you're a regular person, you know the fine line. It's up to you to cross it or not. But he suspended 3 games.
I don't know if you knew. He suspended 3 games, but he negotiated to get those 3 games reduced. So if he does anything from here on to before the 3 games are done that jeopardizes the league again or makes them look bad, he will probably get some games added to it, because it was originally supposed to be a 6-game suspension, but since he's cooperating with the league and he didn't go to rehab and all that stuff, they reduced it down to 3 games. But from here, he has to walk that line. It's a very fine line, and he has to be on a straight and narrow.
But you're not saying they can lower the suspension under 3 months, right?
No. They lower the suspension from 6 games.
From 6 to 3. That's what I thought. Okay,
yes.
right.
So but I'm saying, but if he messes up again or does something idiotic again from here until before the suspension is over, he probably will get suspended for the other 3 games.
We'll be talking about this on one of our other podcasts if he makes a dumb decision right back to this point. So let's talk about the next thing in the NFL right now. We talked about it the other day, in another podcast, Janoris Jenkins' friend, Roosevelt Renee, was found dead in the bottom of his basement. We now found out that his older brother, William Jenkins Jr., 34-year-old William, was charged with manslaughter earlier today with the death of 25-year-old Roosevelt Renee. That being the case, it's his own brother who ended up, I guess they got into a physical altercation and things went a little more aggressive than they should have. At the end of the day, someone's dead. Someone has to live with the consequences and pay the respects. What's the take on this right now? If you're Janoris Jenkins, how are you feeling? I mean, it's your brother and your friend. What's going on right now there?
There's nothing good coming out of it for Janoris Jenkins. It's your house. Your name is on the news for no reason. You lost a friend, and now you're going to lose a brother. Which I can only assume they're probably close since he's living in Janoris' house. It's a tough situation. It's a tough situation. Here's the thing. You have a brother who already made it in the NFL, has gotten paid. How can things get so bad where you got to go take somebody's life? Bro, if it's that bad, you can always hit up your brother and be like, listen, bro, let's just go out, hit up the club this night, blow up some steam because I need it. Like, you don't got to resort to taking somebody's life. Now, we don't know what happened in the altercation. Right, we don't know what happened. You never know if the other guy went at him first or something. But
right. Sometimes self-defense.
He is not paying the price. He fled, so he does not look
any better.
He looks guilty when you're fleeing. And then, besides the fact that he fled, he, as you were saying, you had told me earlier, he was on parole and he violated his parole. So I mean, it's just
parole. He was actually with a charge of selling a controlled substance. So obviously, William Jenkins Jr. is up to no good, unfortunately. Getting caught selling controlled substances. Now he's getting apprehended, fleeing the scene for manslaughter with a pro brother like Janoris Jenkins. I mean, none of this looks good for the family or for him.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's just a sad situation, sad story. And I feel like this is just typical NFL. For some reason, I feel like every year the NFL has some new story to hit us with. If it was not Ray Rice slapping his girlfriend, it's Big Ben getting accused by rape, Aaron Hernandez committing murder, getting indicted. It's always something with the NFL. There's never like, oh, they had a clean offseason where nothing happens. Something always happens. Going all the way back into the Mac Jones days. I mean, it's just typical NFL.
And we'll see what Commissioner Roger Goodell has to do about.
I got a question to ask you about that.
What?
Whenever you have kids and if you have a son, will you let him play football?
Absolutely. If he wants to play football, he can play as much football as he wants. Do I think it's dangerous? Absolutely. At the end of the day, everyone makes their own decision.
I don't know if you heard the story. I was reading about this the other day. There was a quarterback for Washington State. I believe it was last year. He committed suicide. And they did an autopsy on his brain. He had the brain of a 65-year-old man. This is also a 21-year-old young man. Had the brain of a 65-year-old man. Do you think football played a role in that? You think football was the reason he had? I mean, we know CTE is a big thing in the league, and it's probably a subject for another podcast. It's just a subject,
Yeah, huge subject, and it's been going on for years. I mean, the NFL is known for head trauma. The NFL is known for illegal contact. And it's just, honestly, I wouldn't prefer my son playing football. I don't agree with a lot of the rules they've had. Have I feel like they've made it better? Absolutely. But there's still consequences. The sport still has a price to pay when it comes to national football. In my opinion, I think football is more of one of our most dangerous sports. It's on the, on the spectrum of dangers. At the end of the day, it's a sport, and if people love it, they should go after it. So unfortunately, the kid who committed suicide, 21-year-old, with the brain of a 65-year-old.
No, I'm gonna say his brother out real quick because like his brother is a quarterback too, and his brother said he's not gonna stop playing football.
There you go.
So like, yeah, like you say, if you have a love for the game, you're gonna. Like,
you're gonna go for it.
A lot of these NFL players say, they're willing to put their body on the line.
Yeah,
because the NFL is giving them a lifestyle they wouldn't have otherwise. So I get that. I'm just.
We see it from an outside perspective.
As a father, I wouldn't want my kid to be put in that situation where I got to worry about my 21-year-old kid now in college probably committing suicide because he may not be right in the head from all the hits he got when he was back in high school, back in Pee Wee football. Like, my last question on this subject before we enter into the next phase of our podcast, should the NFL implement a rule where they say people can't get tackled until the age of 14, 15? Is that better? Would that help things? Because I just don't see how little kids getting tackled at such an early age will help at all with the development of the brain. At the end of the day, your brain's still getting rattled, still getting hit. I mean,
I think they do have that rule. I think
no. Pee Wee football, you play tackle. You play,
doing a show in the Liberty City Warriors. And they had little ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, right by my house, we have a football park. You got 7-year-olds out there knocking each other out, man. It's rough out there. And parents.
On a side note, it looks kind of cute, but I have seen more flag football recently as far as middle schools. Maybe not pee-wee football because obviously these kids are not running as fast. Should they implement it? Yeah. I feel like middle schools already play flag football, but when you get to high school, you gotta prep for college. So you gotta be able to take some sort of contact. This is where the men get separated from the boys. So do I think they should have rules? I definitely think they should. They're still learning. The NFL's, one of these things where you constantly learn and adapt and change. So I feel like if they were to pass a rule, it would be hard to judge because it's one of those things where it's like, is it for the NFL? Is it for football in general, anywhere football is played? And that's hard to really oversee since a lot of football leagues are private, public, self-funded, self-started, school regulated, and things like that. So do I want more safety in the NFL or in football in general? 100%, especially if I'm going to have a kid who eventually might want to play football. 100%. That being said, let's talk about our next topic, the MLB. Something going on right now in the MLB. The Red Sox made a trade, right? Jose, they made a trade for Steven Pierce and cash. They traded away one of their prospects, Santiago Espinal. This is a big move in the Red Sox industry. What do you think is what's doing for them this year? What is it going to do for the team? And was it a good trade or not?
Well, it was a good trade. It's because I feel the Red Sox need some help hitting left-handed pitchers, so he will definitely provide that. This has just been his niche for the past few years, is killing lefties. He's a right-handed bat who plays some second base, which we don't know what Put George gonna do for us. He plays some outfield, so that helps a lot too. I like the trade. You get some cash back in order to cover his salary a little, so it helps us out in case we want to make another trade and later on the season, towards the end of July. Very happy about it. So far, so good. The team is, doing very well. The one weakness we have, I feel like they're addressing. So I say we because I'm a big Red Sox fan, guys, just by the way. So yeah, I feel like they're addressing that need. And so far, so good. We got to keep up with the Yankees because they're incredible right now, unfortunately. As fortunate as that sounds. Stanton's getting locked in. He's heating up a little. You got Judge. Gleyber Torres has been killing the world since he got caught up. You got Severino throwing like an absolute ace, the ace he is. The Yankees are tough, so everybody's just playing cash up at this point, I feel like. I mean, maybe the Astros have a little better squad, and they're the defending champs, so I feel like they definitely deserve the respect. When it was all said and done, man, the Yankees 1 through 9, they have a deep lineup, and they go out thump. So that's a team to beat, in my opinion, right now. And this trade just helps us get a little closer towards that.
That's awesome. South Florida also made some moves this evening, right? They had a pitcher who got called up from the minors to the majors. Pitcher by the name of Sandy Alcantara gets called up. Prospect in the making right here. He's a pitcher. We're looking to see what he adds to the team. Some people are really excited with him, especially Marlins fans, because we know we get excited about anything right now. We're in a real big rebuild stage, so anything right now for the team is good news. Jose, what's your take on Sandy? What is he going to do to this team? And is he to be hyped up or hyped down?
Oh, Alcantara, 22-year-old. He was acquired as part of the trade this past December for Marcell Ozuna. Si todavía me amas como antes, ya nada me parece interesante. Ozuna. He's one of the big prospects that came back in this trade. Ozuna was an all-star for us, 2-time all-star. So, we needed some good names to come back for us. It wasn't like the Stanton trade where we were just dumping his salary. Ozuna had to give us, we had to receive some value. And he's one of those players that was probably the main piece of that trade. Looking very good so far in the minors. Had a solid season so far. He will become the first pitching prospect of the group, acquiring trades, for the Ozuna, Giancarlos, Christian Yelich, D. Gordon, to be called up to the major. So he's one of the first prospects from all those trades to be called up. The only thing is he's facing Jacob deGrom, probably one of the best pitchers in the league. Has an ERA of 1.69 right now. The ace for the Mets. Absolute stud. So it's going to be a tough matchup for him to be able to compete with deGrom on the other end. Hopefully he's not paying too much attention to that part and just goes out there and throws his pitches and throw 100 miles per hour fastball, mixing his little breaking balls here and there, and has a solid outing. I have a lot of faith in this guy. I feel like he could develop into one of our aces if everything breaks right with him. In the minors, he made 14 starts. He was 5-3 with a 3.71 ERA, 85 innings pitched, has 64 strikeouts and 34 walks. Opponents were hitting 238 against him, so he has a live arm, and you see the potential there. So hopefully, nothing but good things come from this.
We're looking really forward to it, especially down here in Miami. We got big things coming for the city. Hope we keep making good moves. Awesome. So let's hop into our next subject now. Let's talk about the
NBA.
What's going on around the league. I feel like every offseason is just as busy as an on-season. I say this all the time. Right now, we got a lot of reports coming from Magic Johnson, San Antonio, LA. The biggest story right now in the NBA is where is Kawhi going to end up? Teams don't want him if he's already committing to the Lakers in 2019. So no teams are willing to make trades if they're gonna lose come 1 year after that. He's pretty much demanding that he only goes to LA. Magic Johnson needs to lock in this deal to have the best possibility of securing LeBron. Even Kawhi and LeBron have been in talks that they want to team up together. There's also rumors that LeBron texted KD. The point is, Jose, where is Kawhi going? Are they going to make the move to LA? Do the Spurs have any option, or will they just keep a player against their will?
They definitely have options, in my opinion. They could easily go ahead and hold out and trade him to the West. If I'm San Antonio, I don't want to trade Kawhi Leonard out to the West. So the Lakers, in my opinion, will have to step up big time. And I know they offer Ingram and a potential first-round pick. Is that enough for Kawhi Leonard? I don't think so, just for the fact that, Boston's interested. And if I'm San Antonio, I want to trade him out there to the East Coast so I don't got to play him more than 2 times a year. Boston could offer me a mix of maybe Brown or Tatum that could easily cover what Ingram gives you, plus a first-round pick on their end. I mean, I'd rather do that trade than trading him over to the Lakers, one of my rivals, where he could easily beat me 4 times a year. So, yeah, no, they have options. Is it going to happen? I don't know. You never know. Boston maybe hesitant to trade away a Brown or a Tatum. But I feel like if you're going to try to get Kawhi Leonard, you're going to have to give up one of those guys at least.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to give us something for Kawhi Leonard, even if he's only coming for 1 year. But here's the thing I read the other day. The Celtics feel like they were right there. And they honestly feel like the pieces they have right now, they're happy with them. And they want to keep moving forward with those players. So playing under Brad Stevens and playing with the talent they have, like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I mean, look at the success they had this season, and they didn't have their 2 best players playing for the majority of the time in a Gordon Hayward and a Kyrie Irving. That being the case, I don't feel like the Boston and San Antonio trade would go down because of the simple fact that Kawhi's leaving the year right after that. What point does it make for them to get a good player for 1 year if he's already committed to LA in 2019? Now you're trading up a young rookie who's not costing you any money for someone who with a Kawhi Leonard where you got to take his contract on for a year, and guess what? Most likely, poof, see you next year.
So what if Kawhi tells you I'll resign with you, Boston? I like your squad. I like your squad. I want to play next to Hayward. I want to play with Kyrie. I want to resign with you guys. Will you do it?
Here's the thing. The only way I'm signing Kawhi Leonard is if he tells me something like that. And even then, I need something in paper that tells me it's a guarantee. I'm not willing to just hear someone's word over it and make a business decision off of,
oh, yeah, for sure. I got you.
In these situations, when you talk it out with the agent, you guys come to an agreement. Yeah, once you trade for the player and he's under your property, you usually sign the contract a week or 2 after. There's a few minor details to, work out, maybe an option or something like that, or, incentives and stuff like that. But yeah, usually the agreement, once you come to agreement, yeah, the contract is usually signed a couple weeks after. So I haven't heard of a situation where player was traded to team and they had already come to agreement and it not happened. So, I mean, I feel like this will be one of the first cases ever, if that's the case.
I wonder what they're going to do with him. I feel like everyday time's just ticking off fast, and we see it tick. People are getting a little desperate. I know Magic Johnson saying he's making some big moves. I'm really excited to see what they do, who they trade up, who's going to play in LA next season, and what's going to go on in that market. The next thing I want to talk about in the NBA is the other busiest free agent right now in Paul George. Jose, he opted out of his contract. Now he's unrestricted. What is he doing? Is he coughing up money? He's losing money on this trade? Does he sign with OKC, or does he go team up with someone in LA, ideally, or go to another team and run for a championship at this point? Does he want to get paid, or does he want to win a ring? What's your take?
I feel like him being from the LA area, he wants to go play in LA. But here's the thing. He would lose approximately $46 million if he signs a contract anywhere else but in OKC, because OKC could give him the 5th year and the little extra boost in salary per year. That's a big blow if you think about it. I'm an NBA player. My whole goal here is to set my family up for multiple generations, not just 1 or 2. I'm trying to make it to 6 generations are set. $46 million helps. $46 million could cover a couple generations easily, wouldn't it? I mean, am I willing to sacrifice that? Can LA bring me back those 46 million endorsements, let's say I wouldn't be able to get in OKC because OKC is in the middle of nowhere. That's something that his agent will have to come forward and, do the math and think about it. But I definitely think Paul George's heart is to play in LA. Is it the smart thing to do? Probably, maybe not. So that's why I feel like, he's in a bit of dilemma, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because yes, his heart wants him to go to LA, but money-wise and business sense, it makes more sense to stay in OKC is for the fact that you get the extra $46 million.
No, I'm with you. Obviously, money's important, especially when you're, a paid athlete. Your job is to make the money, make the deals, make the hard decisions. So here's my last question. I'm gonna leave you with this last question right here, Jose, and we're gonna end today's podcast. If Paul George went to LA, and if LA somehow got Kawhi Leonard, and if LeBron signed with LA, right? These three players on the same team, second leader in league steals. You're talking about Kawhi Leonard, arguably top 3 players in the NBA, and a great defensive threat, and then you have LeBron, greatest player, with a young rookie team like Lonzo Ball, maybe Kyle Kuzma, depending on who they keep. Do you say it's a yes or no question? And I know you're gonna overthink it. They win a championship next season or not?
With Kawhi, Paul George, and LeBron?
Correct.
I say yes to winning. You get 2 lockdown defenders in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. So even if the players still go to State, they'll be able to lock down KD somewhat. They'll go ahead and lock down Klay Thompson. And now it's up to Curry to survive. And we've seen situations where Curry could drop 45 points and they still lose games.
Yeah, 100%.
The whole thing I feel like Golden State is that KD is the one that takes them over the top, and so it's like, so I'll be able to live with that if I'm able to cover KD and cover Klay Thompson, who could get as hot as anybody in the NBA and go off any given quarter. So if you could cover that, and I feel having a Paul George and a Kawhi Leonard, I'll be able to something to accomplish. Like, I don't see why not. They don't want to be able to win the championship. Throw in a LeBron James, who's going to stop him on the other end, who's going to stop Kawhi, and who's going to stop Paul George. I mean, it's just a lot to think about, a lot to plan for. And I feel like talent should overcome whatever obstacles are thrown at them from other coaches and other teams. I feel like, they're smart enough, especially LeBron. They have enough basketball IQ. And then Kawhi Leonard coming from San Antonio, I feel like, he's taught him how to be the ultimate pro. They should be able to overcome whatever difficulties they see.
The first year.
Because, there's always bump in the road. You can see how in Golden State, and even with Miami, when we got the big 3, there was always, there's a little rough patch. You got to learn how to work together and, play together. Once February comes to say All-Star break, I feel like they'll have it all really locked in. And once the All-Star break comes in, they just didn't go out and dominate people. If that was the case, if they all 3 joined, would that help the NBA? Would that be good for the NBA? I think so. Just for the fact that I'm tired of seeing Golden State win, guys. God damn it.
Me too.
Somebody please beat them already.
Somebody. I couldn't believe it when I saw it was Cleveland. Even me being a LeBron fan, I was like, Cleveland and Golden State again. It can't be like that next season. So, will Paul George sign in LA? Where is Kawhi going? Where is LeBron going? He's the last domino to fall, so we'll find out. Guys, thanks for tuning in to sBLitz podcast. We'll be podcasting twice a week. Don't forget to tune in, subscribe, like, and comment. This is your boy Rob.
With your boy Jose. Come plátano.